Alberta had some problems. Alberta's electrical grid recovers after extreme cold prompts threat of rolling power outages. Could you imagine, Reg, dealing with negative 40 temperatures and then being told, oh yeah, you probably aren't going to be able to use your power to heat your home?
Yeah.
Yikes. So a high risk of rotating power outages has eased in Alberta after an emergency alert was issued on Saturday night. High power demand caused by the extreme cold is putting pressure on the grid, said the emergency alert issued at 6:44 p.m. Mountain Time. Residents were asked to immediately reduce electricity use to essentials only. The Alberta Emergency Management Agency urged Albertans to turn off unnecessary lights, avoid cooking with a stove, and delay charging electric vehicles. Woohoo! The Alberta Electric System Operator ended the grid alert, meaning that power system is under stress and preparations were underway to use emergency reserves to meet demand and maintain reliability for the system just before 9 p.m. Mountain Time. An urgent appeal to Albertans to conserve electricity tonight was instrumental in avoiding rotating power outages, said AESO, the independent operator of Alberta's electric system.
Jay, I just think like when you see things like this, what is the federal government saying when they look at this and go, oh crap, everybody's going to be really upset if we start pushing the carbon tax, we start increasing that, we start pushing the green energy plan in a way that's going to support rolling blackouts, basically. Like, what is their media people saying about this?
We're screwed. That's what they're saying. Because that's what they're pushing is we want an all-electric future. That's their plan. And when you think about it, like we'll even take Nova Scotia for what we know here. From what I've heard, even from people who listen to the show, like our infrastructure is super dated and can't handle if everyone had electric vehicles on top of, like we have to replace a lot of our infrastructure to be able to maintain that level of usage electricity wise. So kind of what you're talking about earlier, the idea of diversifying the power might be a smart way to go, because I don't think our country, let alone these different provinces, can handle a 100% electric future.
No,
we can't. Too costly.
You need a backstop too. That's the other thing too, is that like I look at things like nuclear, which honestly I'm not a fan of, and I've said this before, and I think it's funny that we're having this conversation right now because I think the very first conversation I had on the show was really about power and rolling outages across Europe. But it's one of those things where I'm like, I don't like nuclear because I don't like the way that you have to extract the uranium. It's very harmful to the environment. The other problem is that what do you do with the waste? It's frustrating in that way, but it's so much cleaner than the other ways that we're generating electricity. And it's so much healthier for the environment and for human health. And that's my job. I'm in human health. So I look at this and go, you have to look at the trade-off. And like, I hate it, but you have to sometimes swallow things that you don't like.
Take your medicine.
Yeah.
Swallow the pride a little bit. Because this is the issue I had even before Trudeau took power in 2015, where it was this idea that he kept pushing during his campaign to his leadership was we need a green plan. We need to move to a green future. This, that, the other. And when he first got in, he completely gutted Alberta's industry. They gutted their industry, and I gave them a really hard time. And it was kind of like, we're just going to move to green now. There was never a transitionary plan that was put in place that would actually help people transition to cleaner forms of energy. It was just, we're just going to do this now. And now we're having these different issues that we've seen by these policies with Rachel Notley's NDP that was in power from 2015 to 2019, inking a deal worth $1 billion to shut down 3 coal-fired power plants in Alberta. Now you have an issue where they can't sustain their high demand during a negative 40 weather pattern, where they then had to pull. Obviously, Scott Moe helped out by giving a bunch of electricity from Saskatchewan. They also pulled from BC and also pulled from Montana to be able to get through that time. As you're talking about, it's good to be able to work with others to get through tough times. And that's putting Alberta's in a tough spot. And obviously the East, Ontario, mainly what I'm talking about, and that people in that province, lefties in that province are laughing. Unfortunately, they're laughing at Alberta. They're laughing at Saskatchewan because of their political differences. You guys can't get anything together. We need more left policies, is what the simple person's going to say. And meanwhile, it's these types of policies that have completely handicapped this province and put them in tough spots, and why they double down on people like Danielle Smith to try and get them out of it.